The glass
I think
doors of
this
the
is what
bank
you've been
opened
waiting
slow. People inside did not look up at first. They were busy. Some were on phones. Some were filling papers. Some were standing in line with fancy clothes and gold watches. Then she walked in. She was very old, about 90 years old. A black woman, small body, slow steps. Her back was bent. Her hand was shaking just a little. She wore a simple brown coat, old shoes. A small, worn-out purse hung from her shoulder. It looked heavy, but not with money. Heavy with time. Heavy with life. Each step she took made a soft sound on the shiny bank floor. Top! 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 A few people looked up. One woman whispered to her friend. "Why is she here?" A man in a suit rolled his eyes. "She probably lost," he said low. The old woman did not hear them. Or maybe she did, but she did not care. Her face was calm. Her eyes were tired but strong. Eyes that had seen many winters. Eyes that had seen pain and patience. At the front counter, a young bank teller was helping a rich man. The man was loud, confident. He wore a sharp blue suit, big watch, gold ring. He smiled like he owned the room, like money followed him everywhere. People knew him. "That's Mr. Carter," someone whispered. "He a millionaire." Mr. Carter laughed while talking on his phone. Yeah, I'll buy it." "Cash," he said. The teller smiled at him big. She nodded fast. "Yes, sir." "Of course, sir." Behind him, the old woman stood in line. Quiet, patient. Minutes passed. Mr. Carter finally stepped aside, still smiling, still laughing. The teller looked up and froze for half a second when she saw the old woman. Not because she was dangerous, not because she was rude, but because she did not look like the people they treated special. The teller forced a small smile. "Yes, ma'am. How can I help you?" The old woman stepped forward slowly. She held her purse tight. Her voice was soft, low, calm. "I just want to check my balance." That was all she said. 3 seconds of silence. Then, Mr. Carter laughed. Not a small laugh. A loud one. He did not even try to hide it. "Check her balance," he said, smiling wide. He looked at another man and shook his head. "Man, this is a bank, not a charity." A few people laughed with him. Not loud, but enough. The old woman did not react. She did not get mad. She did not speak back. She just stood there. The teller looked uncomfortable. She cleared her throat. "Do you have your car, ma'am?" The old woman slowly opened her purse. Her hands moved careful. She pulled out a very old bank card. The edges were worn. The color was faded. The teller looked at the card. Her eyebrows moved a little. She typed something into the computer. Click, click. Mr. Carter leaned on the counter, still smiling. "You sure the thing still works?" he joked. The old woman looked at him for the first time. Not angry, not scared, just calm. "It always works," she said. The teller pressed enter. The screen loaded. 1 second, 2 seconds. Then, the teller's face changed. Her smile disappeared. Her eyes got wide. Her fingers stopped moving. She leaned closer to the screen. Mr. Carter noticed. "What's wrong?" he said, still smiling. "Computer broken?" The teller did not answer. She swallowed hard. She clicked again. Her hands started shaking. Just a little. She looked at the old woman. Then back at the screen. Then back at the old woman. People in line started to notice. "Why's she looking like that?" someone whispered. Mr. Carter's smile slowly faded. He leaned closer to see the screen. "Hey, what are you looking at?" he said. The teller quickly turned the screen a little. Not fully away, but enough to block his view. She stood up from her chair. I need to get my manager," she said. Mr. Carter laughed again, but sounded nervous this time. "For what? She got $10 in there or something?" The old woman did not move. She just stood there, quiet, strong, waiting. The teller walked fast to the back office. People stared. Mr. Carter crossed his arms. "Man, this is taking too long," he said. The old woman finally spoke again. Her voice was still soft. "Good things take time." The back office door opened. The manager stepped out. He looked serious, very serious. He walked straight to the counter. He looked at the teller, then at the screen. His face changed too. He slowly looked up and looked at the 90-year-old woman. Then he said something that made the whole room feel cold. "Ma'am, can you please come with me?" The bank went silent. Everyone watched. Mr. Carter's smile was gone. The old woman picked up her purse and followed the manager. Calm, quiet, like she knew something that nobody else in that bank knew yet. The manager did not smile. He stood straight and looked at the old woman like she was a problem, not a customer. His eyes went from her shoes to her coat to her old purse. Some people in line leaned forward to see better. This was becoming a show. Mr. Carter folded his arms and smirked. "Guess they finally found her mistake," he said to a man next to him. The old woman stood still. Her hands were folded in front of her. She did not look scared. She did not look confused. She looked patient. The manager cleared his throat. "Ma'am, there seems to be an issue with your account," he said. "An issue," she repeated calmly. "Yes," the manager said. "Sometimes old accounts get mixed up. Records get lost." That word "old" hung in the air. Mr. Carter laughed again. "See? I told you. She probably don't even got a real account." A few people nodded. One woman whispered, "That's sad." Another said, "Why they wasting time on her?" The teller stood behind the counter, nervous. Her eyes kept moving between the manager and the screen. She knew something. Everyone could see it on her face. The old woman looked at the manager. "I opened my account here before this building was painted blue," she said. Her voice was quiet. "But my money been here ever since." The manager gave a tight smile. "That may be true, ma'am, but policies change. Respect should not," the old woman said. That made the manager pause. Just for a second, Mr. Carter rolled his eyes. "Come on, man. You really gonna let her hold up the line?" The manager raised his hand to quiet him. "Sir, please," he said, but his tone was not strong. It was more like he agreed, but wanted to look professional. He turned back to the old woman. "Do you have any proof of income?" he asked. "Recent statements? Employer records?" That question cut deep. The old woman blinked once. "Slow. Son," she said, "I've been retired longer than you've been alive." Some people laughed quietly. Mr. Carter laughed louder. "Retired from what?" "Cleaning floors." The words were ugly. The teller looked down. She felt shame, but said nothing. The old woman looked at Mr. Carter again. This time, her eyes were not just calm. They were sharp. "I cleaned floors," she said. "I cleaned houses. I cleaned offices. I cleaned dreams other people didn't want no more." The bank got quiet for a moment. "But I also saved," she continued. "While people laughed. I invested," she said. While people doubted. Mr. Carter opened his mouth to speak. The manager cut in fast. "Ma'am, we're not here to talk about your life story," he said. "We just need to confirm if this account is real." The old woman nodded. "It is real." The manager turned to the teller. "Pull full records," he said. "All of them." The teller's eyes got wide. "All of them?" she asked quietly. "Yes," the manager said. "Every linked account." The teller started typing fast. Click, click, click. The screen filled with lines. Numbers, names, dates. The teller's breathing changed. She leaned closer. Her face lost all color. Mr. Carter leaned forward. "What you seeing?" he asked. "Let me look." The teller quickly turned the screen again. "Sir, please step back," she said. Now, Mr. Carter got annoyed. "What? You think I can't see numbers?" The manager stepped between him and the counter. "Sir, please give us a moment," he said. Now everyone knew something big was happening. People stopped checking phones. Stopped talking. All eyes were on the old woman. She stood there like stone. Strong. Quiet. The teller whispered to the manager, so low nobody else could hear. But whatever she said, the manager's face dropped. His lips went dry. He rubbed his forehead. He looked at the screen, then at the teller, then back at the screen. This can't be right," he whispered. The old woman tilted her head slightly. "It is right," she said. Mr. Carter laughed, but this time it sounded forced. "You're acting like she got millions in there," he said. The manager turned slowly toward him. For the first time, he did not smile at Mr. Carter. He did not joke. He did not agree. He said very low, "Sir, please lower your voice." That made Mr. Carter freeze. The manager then turned back to the teller. "Close my office door," he said. "Now." The teller nodded fast. People gasped. The office door in the back closed with a soft click. The sound felt loud. Too loud. The old woman picked up her purse again. The manager looked at her. His voice was different now. Not rude. Not proud. Almost careful. "Ma'am," he said, "we need to speak in private." The old woman nodded once. And as she started walking toward the office, Mr. Carter finally felt something new. Not pride, not humor, not control. Fear. The office was small and quiet. The door closed behind them with a soft click. That sound felt heavy, like something important just got locked inside the room. The old woman sat slowly in the chair across from the manager's desk. She placed her purse on her lap. Her hands rested on top of it. Still, steady. The manager stayed standing for a moment. The teller came in behind him. She closed the door again. This time, she locked it. Click. Mr. Carter tried to follow. Hey, I should be in there, he said. This is my bank, too. The manager stopped him at the door. Sir, this is a private matter, he said. Mr. Carter scoffed. Private? With her. The old woman did not turn around. She did not need to. The door closed in Mr. Carter's face. Outside, people whispered. Inside, the room felt tight. The manager finally sat down. He rubbed his hands together. Ma'am, he said, there must be some kind of error. There is no error, the old woman said. The teller sat at the side computer. Her fingers shook as she moved the mouse. She opened more files, more screens, more numbers. The manager leaned forward. Read it again, he said. The teller swallowed. Yes, sir. She read slowly. Her voice was quiet. Primary account balance, she paused. She looked up. Go on, the manager said. The teller looked back at the screen. 8 figures, she said softly. The manager froze. 8 figures. The room went silent. The old woman did not react. Not a smile. Not a nod. Just calm. The manager laughed once. Short. Nervous. That's not possible, he said. She don't even look like. He stopped himself. He looked at the old woman. She raised one eyebrow. Like what? She asked. The manager cleared his throat. I mean, that's a very large amount, he said. The teller clicked again. There's more, she said. The manager's eyes snapped to her. More. Yes, she said. Linked accounts. She opened another file. Her hand shook worse now. Retirement fund, she said. Trust account. Investment portfolio. Each word made the air heavier. The manager leaned back in his chair. His face had lost all color. The old woman looked at him. Still think I got the wrong bank? She asked softly. The manager forced a smile. No, ma'am. Not at all, he said quickly. Of course not. Outside the office, Mr. Carter paced. He leaned close to the door, trying to hear. What they hiding, he whispered. Inside, the teller whispered something to the manager. So it was almost nothing. But the manager's face changed again. He stood up fast. Are you sure? He asked. The teller nodded. Yes, sir. The system shows. She stopped, then finished. Multiple properties. The manager closed his eyes for 1 second. Properties, he repeated. The old woman adjusted her chair. I don't like rent, she said. I like to own. The manager stared at her now. Not down, not past her, at her. With respect, he said. How did you build this kind of wealth? The old woman smiled. Not proud, not loud, just small. Slow, she said. I built it slow. The teller looked at another screen. Her breath caught. Oh my God, she whispered. The manager rushed to her side. What now? The teller pointed. This company here, she said. It's... She stopped talking. The manager read it himself. His mouth fell open. That's Mr. Carter's company, he said. The room froze. The old woman tilted her head. That's correct, she said. The manager turned to her slowly. You're a shareholder? The old woman shook her head. No, she said. I'm more than that. The manager's voice dropped. How much? The old woman leaned forward just a little. I own enough, she said, to change his future. Outside the office, Mr. Carter was still smiling, still confident. He had no idea that the woman he laughed at was connected to everything he thought he owned. The manager sat back down slowly. His hands were shaking now. The teller whispered, There's something else, sir. The manager looked up. What? The teller pointed at the screen. The total, we still haven't opened all the accounts. The old woman stood up. She picked up her purse. That's just one section, she said. The manager looked at her like he was seeing her for the first time. She was not just an old woman anymore. She was a storm, quiet, waiting. And outside that door, a millionaire was about to learn that money does not always belong to the loudest person in the room. The manager did not speak for a long moment. He just looked at the old woman. Not her clothes. Not her purse. At her. Ma'am, he said slowly. I think we need to understand how this happened. The old woman sat back down. She placed her purse on her lap again. You want my story? She asked. The manager nodded. Yes, ma'am. The teller leaned forward too. Even she wanted to hear. The old woman took a deep breath. I was born with nothing, she said. Not even a promise. Her voice was calm, but her words were heavy. I grew up in a small house. No heat. No quiet. No safety. She looked at the wall, not at them. I went to work young. Very young. I cleaned homes. I washed clothes. I scrubbed floors till my hands cracked. She held up her hands. Old hands. Rough hands. These hands built this, she said. The manager swallowed. People looked through me, she continued. They saw a black woman in an apron. They saw cheap labor. They did not see a mind. The teller nodded slowly. I saved every dollar, the old woman said. Even when it hurt. Even when my kids needed shoes. I taught them patience. She smiled a little. I told them, we're not rich yet, but we will be. The manager leaned closer. And you invested? He asked. The old woman nodded. A man at church taught me about stocks, she said. He said, let your money work while you sleep. She smiled. I did not sleep much, she said. But my money did. The teller let out a small breath. I bought small shares, the old woman continued. Companies nobody believed in. Land nobody wanted. She paused. I bought when folks laughed. Her eyes sharpened. Just like today. The room went quiet. The manager looked down. He felt it. I watched people spend, she said. Big cars. Big houses. I stayed quiet. She tapped her purse. I stayed simple. The teller whispered. And it grew. The old woman nodded. Slow, she said. Year by year. While people slept. The manager leaned back. That takes discipline, he said. The old woman looked at him. No, she said. It takes pain. That word stayed in the air. The teller felt a lump in her throat. I buried my husband, the old woman said. I buried friends. I buried dreams. Her voice did not break, but her eyes shined. I kept saving, she said. I kept believing. The manager rubbed his hands. And no one ever knew? The old woman shook her head. People see what they want to see, she said. They see old. They see poor. They see weak. She leaned forward. They don't see patient. The teller whispered. That's powerful. The old woman gave a small smile. I did not come here for praise, she said. I came for truth. The manager frowned. What truth? The old woman looked toward the door, where Mr. Carter stood outside. Some people think loud means rich, she said. Some people think suit means smart. Her eyes hardened. I wanted to see how I would be treated, she said. The manager felt a chill. You were testing us? He asked. The old woman nodded once. Yes. The teller looked ashamed. I wanted to see, the old woman continued, if respect still lived in this building. The room was quiet again. The manager looked at the screen. All the numbers. All the proof. We failed you, he said softly. The old woman did not smile. I expected it, she said. The manager looked up fast. You expected disrespect? She nodded. I lived it my whole life. The teller wiped her eye. The old woman stood slowly. My money grew, she said. But so did my memory. The manager stood too. You said there are more accounts, he said. The old woman nodded. More land. More companies. More trusts. The manager's voice was low. How much more? The old woman picked up her purse. Enough, she said, to make people listen. Outside the door, Mr. Carter was still smiling. Still waiting. Still thinking he was in control. He had no idea that the woman he laughed at was about to shake everything he thought he owned. Outside the office, Mr. Carter was still standing tall. He checked his watch. Gold. Heavy. Expensive. Time mattered to him. Power mattered to him. Respect. He thought he already owned that. Inside the office, the air was thick. The manager stood near the desk. The teller sat frozen at the computer. The old woman stood calm. Then the manager opened the door. Sir, he said to Mr. Carter, we need you to step inside. Mr. Carter smiled. Finally, he said. About time. He walked in like he owned the room. The door closed behind him. He looked at the old woman and laughed softly. So what's the problem now? He said. She find $1 in her account? No one laughed. That made him stop. The manager did not sit. He stood straight. Sir, he said, there has been a misunderstanding. Mr. Carter raised an eyebrow. With who? With you, the manager said. That surprised him. Mr. Carter pointed at the old woman. You mean with her? The manager shook his head. No, he said, with how you spoke. Mr. Carter scoffed. Oh, come on, he said. It was a joke. The old woman looked at him. Jokes show truth, she said softly. Mr. Carter rolled his eyes. Lady, you don't even know who I am. The old woman nodded. I know exactly who you are, she said. The teller clicked the mouse. Mr. Carter looked at the screen. What now? He asked. The manager spoke slowly. Sir, this woman owns a large part of your company. The room froze. Mr. Carter laughed loud. That's funny, he said. Real funny. No one joined him. The manager did not smile. It is not a joke, he said. Mr. Carter stepped closer to the desk. Let me see that, he said. The teller hesitated. The manager nodded. She turned the screen toward him. Mr. Carter leaned in. His smile faded. The color drained from his face. That's not right, he said. She can't own that much. The old woman folded her hands. I bought when your stock was cheap, she said. Very cheap. Mr. Carter swallowed. You, he asked. Yes, she said. Me. He laughed again, but this time it cracked. This is some kind of mistake, he said. The manager shook his head. It is verified, he said. Mr. Carter's eyes moved fast. From screen, to manager, to teller, to old woman. You trying to scare me? He said. The old woman shook her head. I don't scare people, she said. I let truth do that. The teller whispered. There's more, sir. Mr. Carter snapped. More what? The teller clicked again. Property records, she said. Mr. Carter leaned back. No, he said. No, no, no. The manager looked at the screen. She owns the building your office is in, he said. Mr. Carter laughed once. Sharp. Loud. That's impossible, he said. The old woman spoke. I bought it through a trust, she said. My name not on the door. Mr. Carter stared at her now. Not laughing. Not smiling. Studying her. Who are you? He asked. The old woman smiled. A woman you laughed at, she said. The room felt smaller. Mr. Carter felt something new in his chest. Not anger. Fear. He looked at the manager. What does she want? He asked. The old woman answered for him. I want respect, she said. Mr. Carter scoffed weak. You want money? The old woman shook her head. I already have money, she said. The manager watched Mr. Carter carefully. For the first time, Mr. Carter did not control the room. His voice was softer. What you trying to do? He asked. The old woman stepped closer. I'm showing you, she said, what power looks like when it is quiet. The teller looked at Mr. Carter. He looked smaller now. His shoulders were tense. You laughed at me, the old woman said. In front of everyone. Mr. Carter looked down. That never happened to him. Not ever. I didn't know, he said quietly. The old woman tilted her head. That's the point, she said. The manager cleared his throat. Sir, he said, this woman's holdings can affect your company. Mr. Carter looked up fast. Affect how? The old woman answered. Decisions, she said. Votes. Control. Mr. Carter's breath changed. He finally understood. The woman he laughed at could now decide his future, and he could not laugh anymore. The room felt heavy. Not with noise. With truth. Mr. Carter stood near the desk now. Not relaxed. Not smiling. He held his hands together. Like a man waiting for bad news. The old woman stood across from him. Small body. Big presence. The manager cleared his throat. Ma'am, he said, would you like us to show the full balance? The old woman nodded once. Yes, she said. Show everything. The teller's fingers hovered over the keyboard. She took a deep breath. Click. The screen changed. More accounts opened. Rows of numbers filled the screen. Mr. Carter leaned forward slowly. His eyes moved left to right. He stopped breathing for a moment. That's not real, he whispered. The manager leaned in too. His mouth opened. He said nothing. The teller read softly. Primary accounts. Trust funds. Real estate holdings. International investments. Each line hit like a hammer. The old woman watched them. Not proud. Not happy. Just steady. The teller's voice shook. The total combined value is... She stopped. The manager looked at her. Say it, he said. The teller swallowed hard. It is over $900 million. The words fell into the room. 900 million. Mr. Carter stepped back. He hit the chair behind him. Sat down hard. That's impossible, he said. No way. The old woman spoke calmly. It is very possible, she said. I worked for it. Mr. Carter shook his head. You don't look like... He stopped himself. The old woman finished for him. Like money, she said. He looked away. The manager sat slowly too. Ma'am, he said, you are one of the largest private clients we have ever seen. The old woman nodded. I don't like attention, she said. I like control. The teller whispered. There's more, sir. Mr. Carter looked up fast. More. The teller clicked again. One account is marked pending transfer. The manager frowned. Transfer to where? The teller pointed. To another bank, she said. Mr. Carter's heart jumped. Why, he asked. The old woman answered. Because I was watching, she said. Watching how I would be treated today. The manager looked ashamed. You were going to leave? He asked. The old woman nodded. Respect comes before loyalty, she said. Mr. Carter felt sweat on his forehead. He finally stood up. Look, he said. I am sorry, okay. The word sorry felt small in his mouth. I didn't know, he said again. The old woman looked at him. You didn't need to know my money, she said. You needed to know my humanity. The room went quiet. The manager looked at Mr. Carter. Sir, he said, this client's decisions can affect multiple markets. Mr. Carter felt weak. The old woman turned toward the teller. Open the last file, she said. The teller hesitated. Yes, ma'am, she said. Click. A new screen opened. The teller gasped. Oh my God, she whispered. The manager rushed over. What is it? The teller pointed. This account is listed under a foundation, she said. The old woman nodded. That's my giving account, she said. Mr. Carter looked confused. Giving? Yes, she said. For schools. For housing. For people who look like me. The manager felt something break inside. You build all this, he said, and still give? The old woman smiled. Money is loud, she said. Purpose is louder. Mr. Carter looked at the screen again. He saw the numbers. He saw the power. But now he saw something worse. Meaning. He looked at the old woman. Why are you telling me all this? He asked. The old woman stepped closer. Because I want you to remember today, she said. The day you laughed. The day you learned. Mr. Carter's voice was low. What you going to do? The old woman looked him in the eye. I'm going to decide, she said, who deserves to grow and who needs to change. The manager swallowed. The teller wiped her eyes. Mr. Carter finally understood. This was not about money. This was about power. And he was no longer the only one who had it. The old woman picked up her purse. I didn't come to show off, she said. I came to show truth. She turned toward the door. Behind her, a millionaire sat quiet, not laughing, not winning, waiting for a decision that could change his life. The old woman stood by the door. Her hand rested on the handle. For a moment, no one moved. The room was quiet, too quiet. Mr. Carter finally spoke. His voice was not strong anymore. Please, he said, let's talk. The old woman turned slowly. She looked at him, not with anger, not with hate, with truth. I've been talked to my whole life, she said. Today, you gonna listen? Mr. Carter swallowed. Yes, ma'am, he said. The manager stood up fast. Ma'am, whatever you need, he said. This bank values you. The old woman looked at him. You didn't value me when I walked in, she said. The manager looked down. I was wrong, he said. We were wrong. The teller wiped her face. I'm sorry, she said. The old woman nodded. Sorry is a start, she said. Change is the finish. She walked back to the desk. I'm not moving my money today, she said. The manager looked relieved. Thank you, he said quickly. But, she continued, I'm changing how this bank treats people. The manager froze. Yes, ma'am, he said. She looked at him straight. I want training for your staff, she said. On respect. On bias. On seeing people, not clothes. The manager nodded fast. We will do that, he said. She turned to Mr. Carter. And you, she said. Mr. Carter stood straight. Yes. She stepped closer. You laughed at me, she said. in front of everyone. Mr. Carter's voice was low. I was wrong, he said. That don't fix what you showed them, she said. You showed them it was okay to look down on me. Mr. Carter's eyes filled. I'm sorry, he said again. The old woman shook her head. I don't want your sorry, she said. I want your example. Mr. Carter frowned. My example? Yes, she said. You're going to stand outside that office. And you're going to apologize. Loud. The manager's eyes went wide. Mr. Carter froze. In front of everyone, she continued. Same place you laughed. The room held its breath. Mr. Carter's pride fought inside him. Then he nodded. Yes, he said. They walked out together. The bank floor was full of people. Phones were out. Whispers filled the room. The old woman stood to the side. The manager stood still. Mr. Carter walked to the middle of the floor. He cleared his throat. Everyone looked. I owe this woman an apology, he said loud. The room went silent. I laughed at her, he said. I judged her. I was wrong. He turned toward her. I'm sorry, he said. Some people gasped. Some people nodded. The old woman walked forward slowly. You didn't hurt me, she said. You showed yourself. She looked at the people watching. Don't be like him, she said. Don't wait for a balance to show respect. The words hit deep. The teller stepped forward. I will never judge again, she said. The manager nodded. This bank will change, he said. The old woman looked around. My money didn't make me worthy, she said. I was worthy before you saw the numbers. The room felt different now. Heavier. Better. Mr. Carter stepped back. Smaller. Quieter. The old woman picked up her purse. She walked toward the door. At the door, she stopped. She turned one last time. Never laugh at someone you don't know, she said. Because the quiet ones, they be carrying storms. She walked out. Slow. Strong. Free. Behind her, a millionaire stood humbled. A bank stood changed. And a room full of people learned that respect costs nothing. But disrespect can cost you everything.